Hello, and thank you for joining me today for this very special lecture. This lecture is entitled Kentucky Strengthening Families. It's a guide for child care providers all over the state of Kentucky and service providers who deal with children. It's a framework for supporting Kentucky families. I am so proud to be able to speak to you just a little bit about strengthening families. Strengthening Families presents early childhood caregivers with 6 different protective factors. These protective factors actually lay the foundation for strengthening families and the framework that we are initiating through Race to the Top in Kentucky today. The protective factors that Kentucky has identified are: number one is parental resilience, that families bounce back. That's what resilience is all about. Number two, that there are social connections there, that families have friends that they can count on. Um, because we know that those positive relationships that provide that emotional and informational and even spiritual support actually bring about positive results in children's life. Number three, knowledge of child development, that families learn how their children grow and they develop. Just because you have a baby doesn't mean you're the best parent and that you have all the parenting skills in the world. Sometimes we have to be taught and we have to have those skills modeled in front of us so that we become the best parent that we need to be. Number four is concrete support in times of need. We have to be able to continually support our families when they are in crisis, emotionally, socially, physically, all those things, because we know in fact that affects children. Number five is that social and emotional competence of children, that families teach the children how to have healthy relationships. If the parent doesn't know how to have a healthy relationship, how is the child going to know to have a healthy relationship? And the last one is that nurturing and that attachment, that families ensure that children feel loved and that they feel safe. So those are the 6 protective factors that Kentucky is initiating right now. Now, what do those factors look like? And how do they affect our children? Well, I'm going to begin to talk to you just a little bit more. I'm going to break this lecture down, and I'm going to actually talk about all 6 of them in separate lectures so that you can have the opportunity to listen to it over and over and over. I will begin to tell you this. I've done a lot of research with Dr. Ruby Payne, who is a guru on how does poverty affect children all across the nation. She really centers in on the Appalachian part of the United States, which includes Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, and that whole section all the way down through there. It is amazing to learn from Dr. Payne about how she deals and begins to teach us how to understand people that live in poverty and their mindsets. They have a different mindset. And I have even noticed that that mindset is placed on the inside of me in different ways because I grew up in Kentucky. A lot of people think they think of Kentucky as a bunch of hillbillies, barefoot, pregnant. They put stigmas on us, and we know that those aren't true. But some of the ways that we think are driven because of our roots, which are grounded in that poverty mindset. And so as we become more educated and we begin to learn about our culture and our heritage, then we understand why we do some of the things that we do. We understand why we're overweight because we accept the fact that we're stress eaters. Like Miss Maria, I get stressed out, I start eating, and that's how I put on the weight that I have. I'm not proud of that, but I know that it's a stress toxin that has come against me, and that I have to fight against that, and I have to learn how to overcome that and to grow in that. And so I've tried to become healthier in my eating because I've learned that that's the key to my weight, to me losing weight instead of gaining more weight. So we all have areas that we need to work on. You have areas that you need to work on. And we can do this through understanding that there are toxins that have come against us. And that now, as we learn what those protective factors are, that we can help those families around us muddle through or swim through the dark areas of their life and let light come in. And where there's light, there's victory. And where there is light, the darkness has to flee. And that's what we want for our families. I hope you enjoy the next 6 sets of lectures on the 6 protective factors. Thank you.